Warning. The following live broadcast may contain loud, obnoxious, shrill, and alarming noises that might be considered disturbing, if not outright uncomfortable to listen to, especially if you are wearing headphones. I share my office space with an African gray parrot and two parakeets that are now all sleeping, and maybe if we're lucky, they'll stay sleeping the rest of the show. And I have no control over their behavior while I am live streaming, unlike my regular videos where I have the opportunity to edit them out as best as I can. Also, it's warm now, so I get to have my windows open. So the other noises we get to experience is just the outside noises, so hopefully that'll stay at a minimum as well, because I'd rather not sweat while I'm trying to work. If you are sensitive to loud, surprising background noises, I recommend either not turning your volume up too loud or watching my edited pre-recorded videos instead. And even then, good luck with that. Because there's only so much I can do. Viewer discretion is advised. There we go. Hello, everyone. Hold on, let me just fix me mic here. Make sure our boy is nice on the camera. There you go. Very nice, very nice. So hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the EgoWorks live stream, drawing live stream, Daphne Lage's live stream, or whatever. I've been doing this for 3 years now, and I have yet to figure out an actual name for the show, but whatever. I'm sure we'll all deal with it. So welcome to this time for a change. It's actually a very nice day out. For the past 2.5 months, it just felt like it's just been raining. Even this morning, it was raining like really hard. But it's like, I was just afraid that we were just going to end up with the dreariest spring ever. It's like it was just not conducive to going out, although it is conducive weather to working, but after a while it gets old. So it's actually nice that it is finally nice out. The only problem is it's a little muggy. I know that there's I think a storm coming in our direction. I don't know. There's always something. It's like, so what else is new? So it's a little muggy. We're going to have to deal with it. I'm hoping that it at least, stays somewhat tolerable before deciding to become summer. I hope that waits for a little bit. So let's see who's joining us today. Hello, Joseph. Hello. And here's Mike Jimmy. Hello. Long time no here. And Efrain. Hello. And Mike Jimmy says, I have to be on a live show in an hour, so please entertain me and keep me awake as I animate wings. Well, I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. It's like, the entertainment value of this show is up to anyone's interpretation. Let's see. Oh, yes. The bastard son brings all the boys to the... And here I am with my fake milkshake from I had at least got a little Starbucks before the show started, so at least get a little caffeine to keep me going today. Hello, HR. Hello. And yes, sir, Efrain, the intro. Of course. What would I do without you ringing the bell before I forget to do my own intro? So hello, everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means.
With a few exceptions, the characters on this program are weird and peculiar and not to be trusted.
Well, that certainly narrows it down, doesn't it? And I am known for my furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, which is in its last 2 days, maybe 2 days on Kickstarter, with the Kickstarter for the latest story arc, Tears of the Mother. It is a re-release of issues 1 through 5 and the brand new issue 6. Link is in the chat and in the show notes. Like I said, we have it closes Friday. It'll just be easier if I say it that way. It closes Friday, and thank you everybody who have pledged so far. I'm trying to get the campaign to at least squeak under 3,000 by the time we close on Friday. So yeah, that would be great. Will your pledge be the one to put it over the top? So like I said, link is in the show notes and in the chat. So feel free, pledge now, pledge often. And I am also known for my medieval fantasy drama, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which returns to Kickstarter in about like a month and a half. Oh, I mean, I swear to God, this year is just flying by. With Eagle Raven, Volume 2. Which collects issues 5 through 8. So for those of you who missed the previous campaigns, you will be able to definitely catch up on this one with Volume 1 and Volume 2 of Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn. So keep an eye out for that. And I am also, what am I also? I am also a co-host on With Nita Landing on the Raging to the Vlog show every Monday and Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern here on the Indie Comics Network, where we talk about comics and whatever other nonsense just happens to cross our minds at that moment. You guys seem to really like it when we just talk about nonsense. But we do try to keep it indie comics related. So without going too much into hot takes and maybe a little gossip, but nothing, nothing too. It's like, look, just come over and have a good time, suss out the vibe, and hang out with us for about an hour and a half on Mondays through Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern. And you can check out both my comics online here at my website, egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, and Tall Tales, that's TAILS online.com. And you can also check out all of my videos on how I make my comics here at my channel on YouTube. I have 500 plus videos and live streams for your viewing pleasure. And it's right here at my channel at Daphne Lage, LHE Art, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. So you come on over, join the sexy people in the chat, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get notified when any of my shows go live. Okay. I'm always feeling like I'm forgetting something. Like I said, I've been doing this for 3 years, and it's like, I forgot. I feel like I'm forgetting to do something, but I don't know. Let me just, I don't know. Let's see who else is joining us today. Let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. Here, Chad. I'm coming in to make sure you get it finished. Yes. Today's show is mostly sponsored / dedicated to Chad Perkins, who has his campaign, Set the Hook, which is on pre-launch right now. The link is in the chat and in the show notes below. So hey, Chad. It's like I've been. I don't want to say I've been dragging my ass on this cover, but I think, I don't know. I was just having so much fun with it. I made it a lot more complicated than I should have, and because of that, it's taking me a little bit longer than it should have. But when everybody sees the cover, it'll make complete sense. But as you can see, I have something else on the screen right now. Mike Jimmy says, once I start getting money flowing again with a job, I really have to catch up on Tall Tales and Eagle Raven. Yeah, I mean, that would be nice. But you know what? Hey, no matter what happens, I'll be here waiting for you. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. They're always going to be here for you. Let's see. HR little star there. Thank you. And Mike also says, I really miss seeing the vlogs. It's sadly the baby's feeding time and we're limiting her screen time. No, it's very important. You don't want the baby watching our show. Don't have the baby watch our vlogs. And it is not educational content. Oh, hello, Melissa. Hello. Thank you. Thank you, Chad. Thank you. I at least want to make sure I get this cover finished by the time you actually launch the campaign. That would help. I would think. Let's see. Oh, Mike says it's not educational, but definitely entertaining. Thank you. We try. Oh, we try and we don't try. It's very effortless. It's very effortless in that we're really not putting that much effort into it at all. So your mileage may vary. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so this so I think I missed like the last 3 weeks of live streaming. So what have we've accomplished in the last 3 weeks that I haven't been here? Just in case you also don't watch the vlogs either, because usually I'm yapping about whatever I'm doing on the vlogs. But for those of you who just join us on the live stream, I guess like the most important thing that happened in the past 3 weeks in the last 3 weeks is that I finally finished penciling and lettering Eagle Raven Volume 3. So this is issues 9 through 12, completely penciled and lettered. And so this is a huge milestone for me so this is complete. So yes, all I'm doing, so this year, what I've been doing is I have been just pretty much gunning through all of my pencils, trying to finish all the issues that I have still left outstanding. So I'm going to finish penciling the rest of Eagle Raven, which is 15 issues. So I have 3 more issues to go, which is kind of weird to say, to have this completed. It is kind of weird to be so close to ending this, right? And then after this, I have 2 more issues to complete the latest story arc of Tall Tales. So Tears of the Mother, which is on Kickstarter right now. And I'm going to be finishing that. And then the whole plan is to get everything done by pretty much the fall. So it's like starting September. Then I could start inking and then coloring issues, so that in 2025 we can get started, like a bat out of hell with the Kickstarters, and have pretty much like everything scheduled and ready to go. So that's exciting for me. At least is getting this. Look at how much. So this is literally the rest of the script that I have left. It's just like it looks very thin, but it's because these last 3 issues are very image heavy. It's which for me, it requires a lot more planning than if I had like dialogue to work with, because now the artwork really has to say everything. Because I'm not going to have dialogue in a lot of places to kind of like explain what's going on. So it's very visual heavy. So the fact that, right now, I am 8 pages in on issue 13 already. I told the story of this on the vlog, but I thought that, like I said, for everybody who don't follow the vlogs, but they only catch me here, what's happening? So what happened is that I kind of got stuck on issue 13 because I didn't like the way issue 12 and issue 13 flowed into each other. There was it just felt like something was missing. And after kind of like watching a couple of episodes of Game of Thrones to kind of like get into the vibe and get into the mood, it was specifically the Battle of the Bastards episode, because there's a lot of things in these upcoming issues that I kind of based / was inspired by that episode. So I was watching it again, and I was watching a couple of more episodes after that. And it really does surprise me that's how much I really don't like that show. I mean, you would think that Game of Thrones would be everything that I wanted in a show, and it's really not. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. The vibe is just, it's not completely, it's like, I don't know, like the vibe is off somehow, but it's good enough for me to use as reference. So at least I get something out of it. So, Melissa says, "What's that life like? I feel like I'm always playing catch up on my comics." Well, I feel like I've been playing catch up for the past 20 years, 20 something years. So I don't know. I'm kind of rattled at the idea of finishing the 15 issues. Actually, Chad, my favorite show is no longer The Witcher, especially after I read the novel, the first novel, which is The Last Wish. That's the first Witcher book, and the book is so much better than the television show. I mean, I think that I got better visuals and information from the book than I did from the TV show. The TV show, honestly, is kind of garbage compared to the book, so I don't feel bad about not watching it anymore. Although Henry Cavill as Geralt, very nice on the eyes. So at least I read the book with that visual. With that visual. So, well, I mean, I know that most people know the series, The Witcher, from the game first. I think the game came to the United States first. And then it's like, people were like, wait, what? There's a novel series? And it's like, yeah, that's, Alf. I remember that show. I remember the cartoon. I watched the show too, but I remember the cartoons. I like the cartoons. I like the designs on Alf. But Game of Thrones, right? So I was watching Game of Thrones, and then it's like I realized that the reason why my issue 12 and issue 13 wasn't meshing together is because in the end there was a scene missing. So I had to kind of like rework the script to fit in this scene, which in the end worked out because it allowed me to do a lot of to put forward a lot of information without info dumping. Very fine line, I must say, very fine line. So at least that way I was able to like explain a lot of things in the context of this scene without having to depend on captions with, like I said, info dumping, with info dumps in them. So now it's actual dialogue. You get the information in an actual dialogue exchange. So it's a lot better now. And because of that, and the reason why I was able to figure out this scene was that I skipped ahead on the novel in order to figure out the scene in greater detail so that I could convert it into those comic book pages. I go more into detail with this on the vlogs, which is in my playlist. It's the last, I think it's the last episode that we did. But the long and the short of it is that I literally had to write a prose chapter to be able to do this scene in the comic. And then even then, I still had to cut out a lot from the prose to translate it to the comic because it was just way too much information. Like now it was like way too much information. And Chad, it's like, because Chad, when he got the first volume of Eager Raven, he goes, "Oh, you're really wordy." It's very wordy. And I go, well, yeah, but the funny thing is I tried editing it down, and the story is such a way that it's still wordy. It's still weird. There's no changing that. But in the end, but trust me, when I'm editing it down from the prose is has even more information that doesn't appear in the comic. So, which in the end makes me glad that I'm doing a novelization of the comic as well, so that you read the comic and then you read the novelization, and then it's like you get all this like enhanced information and brand new scenes. I'm very excited, to be able to do that. So that's what happened here. I had to write that part of the novel to be able to map out this scene in the comic, and I had to cut out so much to make it work as a comic that it's like, if you want to know what the extra scenes are, you're all going to have to get and read the novel too, or until I get to making the audio version of it that's on YouTube. For those of you who don't know, I also have started doing audiobooks of my prose work. So the first Eagle Raven story, Legend of the Silk Rose, that's on YouTube right now as an audiobook. It's about like 2 hours. So it's like, if you just want to listen to something in the background, you want to listen to me essentially read you a story, that's you can watch that it's on my channel, and it's the very first Eagle Raven story. It's the prequel before the main story, but I'm going to start doing the recordings of the rest of the chapters as I've eventually. I really do have to get the first chapter up soon, so let's see. Oh, Chad says lore-heavy comics can be wordy, so that's not a bad thing. If it's boring, then it's a problem. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's kind of, again, a fine line I have to walk between, am I telling just enough for people to understand the story, or am I just being a little too much going on and not really moving the storyline? Because it's like, because comics kind of like have to move at a faster pace than if you're reading a novel. It's very easy to meander in a novel, and as long as it's like you said, it's interesting enough, you can meander and people won't mind it. They won't even notice, right? You're reading an 800-page book, but in a 32-page comic, you kind of have to get that story moving. And then Mike Jimmy says, I completely agree, but then again, you can show it. It's a visual medium. Absolutely. That's also the fine line. It's like, that's why these last 3 issues, it's kind of like dialogue light, but that's because I'm going to have to depend more on visuals. I really have to get my visuals down, which is fine, because the stuff that I have to draw on these next 3 pages is going to prepare me for when I have to do the last 2 issues of Tall Tales, Tears of the Mother. I joke that those last 2 issues, Jose has me doing the Battle of Helm's Deep. And it's like going, oh my God, how am I going to do these really complicated scenes? But I think I'm very confident, especially confident now, that I'll be able to get through those scenes, rather easy. I do, again, have to big shout out to Clip Studio Paint. I don't think I would have gotten as far as I have on my comics if it wasn't for Clip Studio. I swear to God, if I was still doing this all traditionally, I would be so far behind it wouldn't even be funny. Like, I know for a fact. Clip Studio, I'm able to do so much experimental stuff with the artwork, and it also helps me do it so much faster. I don't have to stop in Lightbox and kind of figure out, how am I going to get this on paper. I just do everything in Clip Studio, and I just, it's like I said, it really is. It's like, Clip Studio Paint is a godsend, and it's like, oh my God, you have no idea. I mean, it's like I don't know what I would do without it, honestly. But so So, and just to show you what happened, Chad goes, Chad, where are you? Oh, there. Oh, okay. So Chad first goes, do you recommend it over Photoshop? Because I hate Photoshop when it comes to making graphics. That's the reason why it took me so long to actually do comics digitally, because Photoshop, what I learned, is not really good for that. And I could never get the control that I needed in Photoshop, although I use Photoshop for coloring. So I switch between Clip Studio and Photoshop. I mean, I'm paying for the bitch anyway, might as well use it. Melissa goes, how do you use the Masters of Anatomy book in your work? I just got the bundle with the action poses to help in my work. Oh, okay. So Masters of Anatomy, I actually have a sample of that on my Facebook page, where I show how I use the poses and then compared to an actual page with the final artwork on it. So because it's very visual, so if you go to my Facebook page and just scroll down a bit, you'll find that page. I'm literally like doing screen captures from the digital and bringing it into Clip Studio and adjusting where needed, and then layer, and then I just draw my characters on top of it. But I do have a sample on Facebook. I do have a sample on Facebook to show you exactly what the two pages look like side by side. So so Mike Jimmy goes, oh yeah, Daphne, would you be cool in me trying to do the in-betweens for your dance gif on Hung on Animation tomorrow? Funny you should ask that, because that's offers me a segue of what I wanted to show here. So here's the thing with Clip Studio Paint, right? Actually, I didn't do it in Clip Studio Paint, but because of Clip Studio Paint, I was able to do this very, very quickly comparatively than if I had done it by hand. Well, technically it's all done by hand. I'm still drawing it, but okay, let me show you this. So this is a page that I was working on. Now, let me see. I can open up the original piece. Here it is. So this is the let me see. Okay, so this is the original sketches from my sketchbook that I did back in 2021. So the scene that this was going to be in, right, it's supposed to be a little dance sequence, a little dancing, right? And I was very inspired by how Wendy Pini did like these certain animated sequences in ElfQuest and certain parts of ElfQuest. And I wanted to do something similar, where it's kind of like you kind of get like a pseudo animated scene in in a comic book. It's like how do you do that, right? So what I did was I literally spent an afternoon watching ballroom dance videos on YouTube. It's research, So I was watching all these videos about of ballroom dance competitions, trying to find one that kind of fit the vibe that I was looking for. Now the thing is, though, it's like, yeah, it's like, look, waltzes and ballroom dancing is very, very anachronistic for 12th century, for pretty much a pseudo 12th century Europe. But just like The Witcher, I don't care. The whole story is anachronistic. It's like, look, it has elves, it has unicorns, it has dragons. Don't talk to me about historical accuracy, okay? I literally have a scene that centers around a character's addiction to coffee and Swedish fish. Yeah, anachronism is like the name of the game here. I am not doing anything remotely historically accurate. So I got to a point where I finally figured out a sequence that worked for me based on one particular ballroom competition video. And this is kind of the sequence I roughed out. And Past Me, I'm very happy for Past Me to do that. Past Me did this, because when I finally got to this scene in issue 13, right? So what I did was I took the sketch and then I drew on top of the sketches. So I think on this one, right? So I have the layer, the original layer. You can see, kind of see the original sketches in the background. And then I drew in, like I penciled in every, like every piece of the sequence that I wanted to use in this scene. So past me, thank you past me for making yesterday me, for making it easy for yesterday me to pencil these out, because it was just very easy, especially in Clip Studio, to just draw on top of it and then just to resize everything so that it was the exact size that I needed, so that's what I did with this. And then what I did, so each one of these is its own layer. And then what I did, okay, and then no, do not save. And then what I did was I brought it in to the actual page that I brought it into the actual page where I puzzled it together. It like I said, it's very inspired by Wendy Pini and her little animated sequences in ElfQuest, and that was what I was trying to get here. So this probably took me longer to put together than drawing out each of the sequences, because it was just trying to get a good pattern that makes sense. It's not exactly, I originally wanted it in an S pattern where it was supposed to go, like you start here, right? And then the next one was supposed to start here, but it wasn't working out for some reason, because I wanted it to, like, you go here and then you go here and then you end here. But instead, I decided to kind of just use a more traditional how to read, like how people read comics. So you start here, Jesus Christ, you start here, and then you jump here, and then you just continue, and then here the curve happens. I don't know, here it worked better. The curve here worked better than it did if I had done it up here. So like I said, this took me forever to map out, because I was like constantly like, better like this, or is it better like this, or is it better like this, or is it better like that, right? So, and also what I really like about the scene is that, by kind of like starting it with smaller, and then having the images kind of like enlarge as the sequence goes. So this is the sequence that I have, right? Thank you, HR. Thank you. He says it's very dreamy and trippy. That's kind of the vibe that I was getting here, that I was really going for. So of course, me being so extra, right? Mike Jimmy says the curve at the bottom works better because it actually flows the movement of the characters. The sequence snake is more fluent like this. Yes, because thank you, Mike. It's like, yeah, it's like I said, that the snake didn't work up here, but it really works here, and I was just very happy when I finally got, like, when something like finally comes together, it's like, it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna save this file. I'm gonna save it. This is exactly how it's supposed to be. Now I apologize in advance to future me that has to ink this, so that's gonna be fun. So probably what I'll do is that I'll ink in the other file, like the individuals, and then just replace each of these with it's like, I like this. I got a Romeo and Juliet comic from the 70s, all its sequences in the whole comic. It's fantastic. Yeah, no, yeah, it's yeah, I mean, it was really something I was trying to imitate, right? So of course, so what Mike Jimmy is referring to is because I had to be so extra about this, right? So I'm finishing this sequence and I go, what if, right? What if, right? So again, like a lunatic, I opened up another file. I set up all the layers on top of each other, right? And I used like Daniel's head as kind of like the focal point to kind of like add all the layers together to make sure that they line up. So like he's kind of like the hub of all the layers, right? And then for some reason, this wouldn't work in Photoshop. I don't know whether it's a glitch or not. And I didn't have time to figure out Clip Studio. So, on how to do this in Clip Studio. So I brought it into another program, to my video program that I usually use because I can't be bothered to learn Clips. What is it? Premiere Pro yet, even though I'm paying for the entire Adobe suite. I just haven't gotten to learning everything yet. And I ended up with this. I was so, it's like what's funny was that I was procrastinating so long because I was like, oh, I really want to try to animate something. Right? And I've animated, and I've in the past I've used a program called Honk. So I animated a PNG tuber of Ego Raven and one of Oswald. And those are just like little puppets that are like animated to the sound of your voice. But I've never done like actual animation, although I've done enough of these sequences in comics that you would think it would be a lot easier for me, right? And thank you. Thank you. Oh, an emoji explosion here. Thank you so much. And last night, it's like I was working so long on this sequence. I go, you know what? Screw it. You know what? It's probably not going to be as clean as I want it, but let's just see if this works, right? And for those of you who missed, I want to play this again because I swear to God, I mesmerized myself with it. This is. So that's the sequence. That's this comic book sequence animated. And and it's just like, it just makes me giddy seeing it. So yeah, so it's so Mike Jimmy wants to take on the challenge of in-betweening this sequence. And I mean, if you want to take up the challenge, if you want to take up the challenge, I'll send you the file. So but yeah, it's like, because I certainly, it's like this is literally an accidental animation, like I said, because before, but it's funny now that I have this kind of like out of my system. Now it's like, oh, okay, can I do this again with something else? So now it's like I have something in my head that it's like, you know what, let's just try to like first, like kind of like think of it as a comic book, animating a comic book, and then putting it together. It's like, maybe it's like I just made these things so complicated. I just made this complicated for myself when in the end I was doing it like without thinking already. It's just that I never got a chance. I just haven't gotten a chance to put it together, So yeah, so I'm going to see if I can try it again with something else. It's something probably a little bit more, I don't know. I don't know, probably something, I don't know. I just have to figure out. I mean, after doing this, everything else should be easier, right? After this, so I thought that everybody would have a kick out of seeing that. Out of seeing that, it's like my accidental animation sequence. So okay, so now that so this is for issue 13 of Ego Raven. I already have 8 pages done, which makes me 1/4 already in the series, in through one. I am 1/4 done of Eagle Raven issue 13. Jesus Christ. Okay, that's what we're doing here. So, okay, so I'm just going to close this out. And yeah, because we're not going to be working in Clip Studio today. So what we're going to be working on today. So here is the piece of okay, challenge accepted. Mike Jimmy. I'll send you yeah, I'll send you the I guess like the PNGs, I guess. The exported PNGs, and we'll see, we'll see how that goes. And then I guess you just bring them into Clip Studio and do whatever it is you need to do there. Like I said, it's like, hey, we'll see. We'll see. So yeah, so this is the cover for Chad Perkins' Set the Hook. As you can see, I have the flats done already. Usually when I do these color covers, I usually do the shading first, but I really wanted like the colors that were used in the sample pieces that Chad sent me. It was kind of, I don't know, they're not like the usual like bright, colors that I'm used to seeing. They're a little bit more muted. So I wanted to make sure that the colors that I got the colors to work first as flats. Now, as ridiculous. Okay, so now the thing is though, is that it's like so a while ago, Chad made a joke on his Facebook page. I don't know, about a fish wearing a bikini. I don't know. It was something like that. I don't remember exactly what the joke was, right? And I had sent him a goof. It wasn't my drawing. It was just something that I showed that just popped up when you type in. It's one of those little Pictionary things. It's so stupid looking. Like it was a little fish in a bikini. It was so funny. And then Chad asked me afterwards, "Oh, would you like to do a variant cover for my comic?" And I go, "Hell yeah," because I had all this fish in a bikini idea like stuck in my head, and I go, "Hell yeah." And it's like, there's a very specific thing that I want to do based on the fish in the bikini joke, or whatever, whatever the joke was. And Chad trusted me enough. Chad trusted me enough to run with the idea. So I kind of like imagined. So the thing that I had is like I kind of imagined the fish, his fish in a bikini in this cocktail glass a la Dita Von Teese. She has Dita Von Teese has a show on has a cabaret, kind of like cabaret, no, burlesque show in Vegas. She has a residency in Vegas now at the Horseshoe. And I follow her Instagram feed, and it's this, and her signature her signature thing act is her in a martini glass, in this Swarovski covered martini glass, right? So of course I got the fish in the bikini. I got this idea of the fish in the bikini in a cocktail glass, right? It kind of like in this cabaret, this burlesque setting, right? So I took his characters, made sexy versions of them because they have to fit the theme. And it's like, and originally I wanted to do like some like a I don't know, like a sponge shrimp in the cocktail glass, but it got so busy. So I decided to do a kind of like a neon light of the shrimp, so this thing took me forever to figure out how to do. Who knew a neon shrimp would be? And I still have to kind of like figure out how to make it glow and stuff like a neon thing. But yeah, so I have the flats, so I was able to kind of like, I don't know, literally sleep on it, because like, okay, the colors are, let me just make sure they still work. And seeing them on the screen, I'm very happy that the colors still work. So now today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting in the shading, because now it's like I'm confident with the colors that that it'll work just fine. So like I said, usually I'm doing the shading first, but this time around I really wanted the colors to make sure that the colors worked first. So so yeah, so now we're going to put in the shading. So let's see. So we're going to have, so today we have I'm going to put on the music now. Oh, like and you know, for those of you who are interested in either picking up the final cover or just, oh, so Grant says that he just missed what this was for. So this is a variant cover for Chad Perkins' Set the Hook, which is on Kickstarter pre-launch right now. The link is in the chat and in the show notes. So like I said, this is a variant cover that I just have to finish, and you know, so that I don't know when he's going to launch, but oh, hello John, hello, I see you. Thank you. So I don't know when he's going to launch, but the link in the chat is for the pre-launch page. So yeah, so that's that's what this is for. So oh yeah, the music. So today I was able to find on Epidemic Sound. Let's see. I figured let's set the tone for the Chad's comic, which is kind of like a, you know, a fisherman, you know, fisherman thing. So I figured some sailor themed music should should do it for today. So like I said, like I've always said, um if it sounds like I'm competing with the music, just tell me and I'll lower the volume. But yeah, so there we go. So yeah, so usually, so now here's the funny thing. When it comes to shading, right? The reason why I usually flat later, like I flat last essentially, is because it's kind of oddly distracting trying to shade with these colors. With these, it's very strange. Um, so what I do is I have a mask and I cover the colors and then I shade on top of this greenish color. So that way I just get to concentrate on the shading and not get, you know, kind of distracted. You know, so that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna go to my multiply layer. That's gonna be our shadow. We're gonna go to our regular lavender color that I usually use, and I am going to start. Let's start with Otis. I think is the character's name. So we're gonna start with him. The only the thing about switching between Clip Studio and Photoshop is that the shortcut keys, they're very similar but not exact for a lot of the keys. So every time I switch to Photoshop, I have to remember what the actual shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts are for Photoshop and not Clip Studio. I know that in Clip Studio, I can, if I wanted, I can go in and make the keys match, but I don't have time for that. I don't have to. Hey, Gothic Lolita, I see you. Hello. So yeah, so I'm just gonna start going ahead and shading this in. So I mean, what's pretty good is that, you know, usually the shading doesn't take me that long. Um, you know, I mean, and also it's like I kind of like the way the shading looks on the green, so it's very aesthetically pleasing to me. So I like you know, I like shading. The flats are kind of boring. Um, that's why for a while I was paying somebody else to do the flats. Um, but um, it was actually because of Clip Studio that I decided to just go back to doing flats on my own. Because my inking style pretty much allowed me to flat more efficiently. The inking style that I started using because of Clip Studio, um, which is a cleaner style than what I was doing before. So because of that, flatting is a lot easier for me now. So I don't find myself needing to hire out currently to get flatting done. I mean, it makes me feel bad for the flatter that I was hiring, but I mean, look, honestly, it's like I'd rather use that money saved that I'm saving by flatting myself and using it to buy commissions. Um, so it's not like the money stays idle anyway. So yeah, so it's like I was just happy that Chad allowed me to be absolutely ridiculous with this cover. It pretty much, I mean, it obviously has nothing to do with the actual story. There is no burlesque show. There is no cabaret in the comic, as far as I Oh, hello. Thank you. Yes, say hello for me as well, Mike. Um, no, yeah, it's like in the end, I don't really feel that bad, you know. Um, yeah, I mean, it's like, oh, hold on, okay, here we go. What am I doing here? My screen just blanked out. Again, it's like, so is the music a little too loud? I'm not sure if that's just because. Let me just lower it a bit. Okay, I think there we go. Grant says I've always used a flatter, but I feel like the small amount of money it is it's definitely worth the time it saves. I mean, yeah, it's like especially with my older style, with the earlier issues of Ego Raven, because I was using a lot of really really thin lines. I really did not was finding I did not have the patience to trace everything over the way with the care that I needed. So yeah, it was really a lifesaver, and definitely a time saver, uh, to have someone else flat it. But now, I mean, like I said, with this inking that I'm doing, it's very clean, bold lines. I'm literally inking for color now, as opposed to before when I was inking for black and white, because I couldn't, we couldn't do color at the time. Um, it just it's not that big of a deal for me now. And also, what I was finding at the very end, that I was spending a lot of time color correcting because I wasn't paying extra for color correcting. Um, that I was spending so much time color correcting that in the end it's like, it would have been faster if I had just done the flatting myself. It just got to that point. So that's what happened. So I had to make a couple of decisions. It was based on several things. um it's yeah so yeah, like I said, in the end it just got to a point where it's like, um it was like the time it was saving me kind of like it wasn't doing that anymore. And then it's like it's like, you know what, if it's faster for me to do it myself, then that's what it is. And now I have money to commission people for covers. I'd rather do that. You know, I mean, it's like, yeah, if it gets to a point where I need a flatter again, I mean, it's like, I'll just hire her and that's it. You know, it's not a big deal. But I haven't had the need to. Um, you know, I haven't felt the need to for a while. I mean, so me and Jose were, so speaking of coloring, right? So me and Jose were kind of like talking about getting Tall Tales colored from the beginning. So going back all the way to issue 1 with Thieves Quest and getting that colored in. And the thing is, though, is that it kind of brought up a dilemma for me that, you know, that I'm not quite sure how I feel about it yet. But so the problem is that if we hire a colorist for the book, right? I'm going to like, I'm not sure how we're going to do uh the the color, like the color keys, right? Not sure about that. And we have so many characters that that's actually something I'm not looking forward to doing. Although, because it's like, okay, it's either I take the time to do color keys or I flat the books myself. So that would be kind of like a reverse situation where it's like I'm doing the the flatting myself to make sure that the colors are accurate, or at least for the characters. Um, but like the actual rendering, somebody else would be doing. Um, because if I had to do color keys, it might take up just as much time. Um, for me to make color keys for all the characters, because it's like, if you're not familiar with Tall Tales, holy shit, that literally is a cast of thousands. There's so many characters I would have to account for. um and I'm not, yeah, it's like I'm not sure, like, yeah, that's just a dilemma that I have right now with that. I mean, I figured that it's literally going to be, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Because for all I know, Jose will get a colorist that I could just give him like all the all the covers that I've done, which pretty much represents most of the characters. And then it's like, here's all the covers. This is the colors. Go for yours, and just leave it at that. Right. Which, now that I think about it, that might actually work. Um, that might actually work. Um, Oh, it was really funny. Complete segue, right? Um, yeah, it's like, what, HR? What do you mean? Do it? What, the just send in all the colors or get Tall Tales colored? Either one, right? Either one. Um, you know, because yeah, because why not, right? Either one. My little sidebar, right? Color it all the way. Yeah. That, like I said, it's like we're discussing it. We're discussing it. That might actually be the first Kickstarters that we're going to have to run to pay for the coloring. I'm not sure how we're going to work that. Um, yeah, it's like, yeah, we haven't decided like how we're gonna do that yet. But oh, you see this little back scratcher thing, right? So lifesaver. I love it. It's like it telescopes. I use it for a whole bunch of stupid shit, along with using it as a back scratcher. Like I have a scanner here that when I have my drawing set up here with the board, I can't get to the scanner very well. So I use this to press the buttons on the scanner. It's like, oh, okay, here we go. Press, press, press. Right. So there was a video about these. I think it was abroad in Japan. I don't know. Was it abroad in Japan? I don't know. It was one of those channels. And they were doing some kind of like challenge where, yeah, I think it was abroad in Japan, where they kind of went to the Japanese versions of 99-cent stores. Like, I guess like, but like not Daiso, like really like off the like really they look like 99 cents, like no name 99-cent stores. And they came across a like a little display with these back scratchers on them, and they're goofing on it going, who would buy this? And I go, me, I would buy them. I'd buy the whole goddamn set just to have these all over the house. I would buy them. So yeah, so if you see these back scratchers, I think they're, what did I pay, like $2 for them? Like if I saw another one, I would buy this. I would buy another one. So HR says that if I do Tall Tales in color, I would not regret it. No, you know what? No, I think that I would not. I absolutely would not. It would be a lot of work, but in the end, what is it, right? Because I spent all that time coloring which one is it? Coloring or so I thought, right? This book, right? So this is actually the very first full color Tall Tales book that we did that is available in the shop. If you go to egoworks.com, I do have a shop there. You can pick up a copy of all the Tall Tales books. If you don't want to bother with Kickstarters, it's like most like right now, all of the Tall Tales books are in stock. All of the Eagle Raven books are in stock. So it's like, I mean, I'm sure you guys remember when I was like coloring that, and it's like, look, I don't regret it one bit. It's like the book was originally supposed to be in color, so I think that that was a good. I like it. I definitely don't regret it at all. Tall Tales does look really nice in color, I must say. So yeah. So why not, right? Why not have it in color? Like I said, we just haven't figured out the logistics of it yet. So probably that's something that once I get the last 2 issues of Tears of the Mother penciled out and lettered, that maybe that's something that we can definitely revisit in earnest after that series is done, which is like 8 issues. So then we can definitely like put that on the schedule seriously. Yeah, so for those of you who don't want to bother with Kickstarter, I do have a shop that has all of Tall Tales is there, Eagle Raven is there. I do have very limited sets of Medieval Unicorn Viking Slut in my store. It's the Unicorn King's Daughter and Viking Slut set. I'm only selling those books as a set. If you missed the Kickstarter, so it is on the campaign. Yeah, it's going to be on the campaign for the trade for the volume 2 trade paperback, but I have very few sets on the store right now. So if you missed out on the campaign and you want to pick up your own set, it's there. So so yeah, so the store. So all the Tall Tales books are on the store as well. The only catch is that the store, that if you are international, you have to email me your order directly. I'll send you a PayPal invoice, and then that way I'll be able to figure out the exact shipping for your country, because the Square store does not ship international. It does not calculate international shipping. So let's see. Oh, that's looking very nice. Oh, and just to give everybody idea of how it begins to look, right, on the flat color, right? So, oh, looking is very nice, very nice. Oh, let me deselect that, get a better look. Yes, very nice. I'm liking it. It definitely, yeah, this is definitely going to work. So, let's see. You know, it's like I'm pretty sure that the last thing Chad expected me to do was was glowing up his characters like this. It's like, do you mind if I take your trash characters and make them heartthrobs? I mean, it's like, well, look, it's not that his characters are trash. He called them. That's how he just like they're just, and it's like, can I, it's like I don't think he was expecting me to give him chiseled abs or anything. They're very modestly chiseled. Yeah. Oh my goodness. But like I said, I just have to thank Chad for allowing me to just completely be nutty with his cover. So. Oh, Jesus. Oh, what happened here? No, I don't. Ah, there we go. Ah, there. What? Okay. Deselect. Ah, there we go. Okay, let's. Where's my lasso? Okay, here we go. Ay, ay. There we go. Very nice, very nice. So what's everybody up to? Huh? What are you guys working on today? What are we working on today? Because I always like to think that everybody is just like, we're all just drawing along, right? We're all drawing together. Because it's like, I'm not. Oh, Grant says he has to set up your next Kickstarter. Oh, so what's your next Kickstarter? yeah, so what's your next Kickstarter? The boring part of being a comic book creator. Yes. All the admin stuff that we have to do. I mean, especially for Kickstarter, luckily I pretty much have my so Grant is doing the Beowulf trade paperback. Oh, very nice. Yeah, let me ask you something, Grant. Let me ask you something. I'm just throwing this out there. It's not that, you see, I don't know if I'm seeing a pattern. I was talking to Nita about this. I talked to Jose about this. But I don't know if it's just me, or that maybe I'm just impatient or something. But do you think that there is kind of like issue fatigue, and that people are just waiting for trade paperbacks, or is it just because I'm just impatient for a series to finish? So I just would rather get trade paperbacks because I get like so much story in one. I mean, not that I'm changing anything like the way I'm doing, but I mean, do you think that do you think that your trade paperbacks in general seem to get like that a lot more people are just waiting for trades? Grant says that he's definitely a trade paperback guy. Yeah, I've kind of gotten to that point myself. Like the only time I'll really buy individual issues is if I don't know if you're going to put out a trade or how soon you're going to put out a trade. So yeah, but I was just wondering if like you felt like this is something that you're seeing across the board, or whether I'm just projecting. Grant says, I'm hoping that there are a lot of people just waiting for the trade paperback. Me too, because my next Kickstarter is for a trade for my volume 1 and volume 2 of Ego Raven. And yeah, I'm hoping that more people are waiting for the trade. I'm hoping that too, because I really do prefer it. So here was something that I also read the other day, right? Because I'm right now I'm finding myself kind of like in between comic books and prose novel, like novel publishing, right? Because the whole concept of indie publishing a novel, it's kind of funny seeing them kind of deal with that. It's not new, but I guess like in terms of being more accepted, is kind of new. I mean, like more authors are self-publishing their novels nowadays, I guess because the option is now there. And technically you make more money if it works, rather than going through an actual publisher. Grant says, I like to buy a lot of first issues just to sample it if I like it or not. Oh, that's a good point. It's probably another reason why first issues do really well. So there was this post from an author, right, who was kind of upset with people saying, I'm going to wait until you finish your series before I buy book 1, right? And this is novels that I'm talking about, right? So I guess she put out like book 1 of her series, right? So I don't know how long her series is. Let's just assume that it's like 3 volumes or 4 volumes, right? So she had people saying that it's like, oh, I love your, it's like, you know what, I'm good, I love it, but I'm going to wait until you finish your series before I buy book 1. And what she was complaining about, remember, this is a novelist, not a comic book artist. comic book creator. She was saying that by waiting until an author finishes their series, you're essentially asking that author to work for free. Which I kind of never heard that frame of thinking before. But then again, it's like I couldn't find the article. I couldn't find the post, so I couldn't remember if she was talking about in terms of traditional publishing, where she's going through a publisher and every sale that she gets on her first book determines whether the publisher wants to publish the second or wants to continue the series. And which I guess would make sense, but I'm not sure if this was what she was talking about. So she was saying that it's like by waiting, that it's like that you're punishing an author by waiting for the entire series to come out, because it's the sales of the book that help, like that help with them writing, putting together the book and the series and whatnot, right? And I kind of like wonder if, because like what's my point here? That I guess it's kind of like your first issue thing, right? That it's like, well, you want to buy the first book so that, it's like, well, maybe, so to make sure you care about the rest of the series, right? But yeah, that's good. And I kind of wonder, because I kind of wonder if there's anybody in comics that feels that way. Like, I thought it was like a weird thing. Like, oh, if you don't buy my first issue, if you're waiting for the trade, you're making me work for free. And I don't know if that works for comics, because we're not working for free. I mean, that's what the Kickstarter is. We're selling the first issue. We're selling the individual issues. So as we sell them, we're technically getting paid for the work that we did, supposedly, allegedly, by selling the individual issues, and it builds up to a trade paperback. But I've never really, I don't know. It's like, Grant says, I don't care when they buy it as long as they buy it. Yeah, that's how I feel too. I mean, because it's like, in the end, it's like my sales don't determine whether I put out the next issue or not. So it's kind of irrelevant. Like, I could literally sell like 2 copies and the next issue is still going to come out. Thankfully, that hasn't been the case. I'm selling, I'm selling about 100 copies. I'm selling about 100 copies per campaign. So, obviously, I'm selling more than 2 copies. But yeah, it's like, I just thought it was kind of a strange, thing to contemplate. Like I don't know. It's just, what it is? I think it was kind of like the borderline threat of the complaint. Like, oh, if you don't buy my first issue, if you don't buy my first novel, there might not be a second volume. And I'm like, well, that doesn't really encourage me to buy the first volume, if you're telling me there might not be a second volume, I'm going to hedge my bets. Unless there's something about your book that I really, 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 really want, that I really don't care. Like, when I first got into Myra Danvers' book, The Last Triton, I read through the 3 volumes in practically like in one weekend. She had 3 volumes. I read all 3 volumes in a weekend, only to find out that it's not a trilogy. Oh, the cliffhanger. Oh, the cliffhanger. You know, but it's like she hasn't really, but here's the thing, right? She hasn't really said that she's writing a fourth volume, that she's going to finish the series. What was really funny was that the series, I asked her about it, right? And, you know, she laughed because I did warn you it was on a cliffhanger. And I go, girl. You know? So the impetus for the book was that it was a story that she was writing on some kind of like OC fanfic. Well, it's not a fanfic if it's an original character, but it was kind of like, you know, it was kind of like a fanfic archive, but for like original stuff. So she was pretty much writing the book on this fanfic archive. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. You know. And then she converted it to novel form, and then she did kind of like a remastered version of the book, which I still have to read. I'm just waiting for her hard copy book that I bought on Kickstarter to come in, and then I'm going to start reading her books again. You know, so the thing is, though, is that she kind of hasn't really said that she's going to finish the series, or at least not the version that I was reading that I wanted her to finish. But you know what's funny is that it really doesn't matter to me. Like, the book lives in my head rent-free. The trilogy, not trilogy, lives in my head rent-free. And if she never puts out a fourth volume, I'm okay with that. You know, so I don't know whether like in the end, it's a valid complaint about, oh, I'm going to wait until your series is finished. It's like, look, if you have a premise that I want to read, I'll probably buy that first copy anyway. That first book anyway. So I just didn't appreciate kind of like that particular, not Myra, she didn't say that, but the other author on the Facebook group, where she said that it's like you're forcing me to work for free. And it's like, I really didn't like the threat, the like kind of like the undertone of a threat. But at the same time, it's like, look, if you write a book that even if it ends on a cliffhanger, I love it. You know what? It doesn't matter. Like, you know, like The Witcher is a series of books, but I only read the first book. Although I have to admit, the way he ended the book, you pretty much could just read that one book and be very satisfied. Like, probably eventually I'll read the next book, because that first book, The Last Wish, is pretty much the setup. It's the introduction of Geralt and the whole thing about Witchers and everything. So it's the whole setup. And if you love absolutely unhinged retellings of fairy tales, you're gonna that's the first book. Loved it. Practically every fairy tale you could think of has like some kind of bizarre iteration in The Witcher. It was beautiful. So, you know, so it's like I'm very satisfied with just reading that one book. So yeah, so I don't know. It's like, I don't know what I was going. I don't know where I was going with that. You know, with that, I just thought it was a very weird thing. Thank goodness it's like I've never heard a comic book person say that, because honestly, that would be the fastest way for me to not buy your book, is for you to kind of like low-key threaten. Oh, if you don't buy the first issue, I'm not going to do the series. Like, well, if you're not going to do the series, why am I going to bother buying the first issue? You know? I don't know. I guess I don't know. It was just where's my lasso? Okay, it's like, yeah, it was just like kind of like like I said, it was just a very strange thing. I'm pretty sure it was in the context of being traditionally published, and that she needed those sales to prove to her publisher that that her book was worth investing in for the long haul. But I don't know. I just didn't appreciate the threat, the low-key threat, you know. Let's see. I think that for her hair, though, I might have to use a different shade because I don't remember if it was red, where it doesn't really. Oh, no. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Oh, thank you, HR. Yeah, I see. I see your comments there. It's just that I don't want to stop. I don't want to take my hand off the screen here. Yeah, so it's like for anybody who's watching, it's like, look, I am seeing your comments. I'm just not bringing them up because I don't want to stop what I'm doing on the screen. So I am seeing your comments. Yes, thank you, HR. He says keep going. Oh, so I know I had started saying this. So Kickstarter, right? All the boring shit that we have to do, when we're not doing the exciting part of putting together a comic. So yeah, with my Kickstarters, I've gotten to a point where I have a template for the crawl, the actual crawl. I wish that there was a way, an easier way of doing the levels and especially like the add-ons or something. Like I wish I could just upload a CSV file that has all my items in it and it will automatically populate, and then I just have to put in all the pictures. That would like just save me so much time, because like it's it's just it's just having to put in the same shit over and over and over again in the Kickstarter. Like I wish I could just do like an Excel file of like the levels and then just upload it, and then it'll just at least give you the bones of it, and then you just put in the pictures and adjust, um yeah, so it's like, yeah, so I have a template set up that I use. So it's like, so pretty much like all my Kickstarters are essentially the same. Like I try not to, like I really go out of my way to not. Oh no, I don't want to do that. To not be fussy, to not be too fussy with it, because I'm always running on the assumption that people are seeing my campaign for the first time. I don't want to assume that everybody who's, even though I do have a lot of return people. I do have a lot of regulars. Thank you so much to everybody who regularly collects Eagle Raven and Tall Tales. Thank you so much. So, but the thing is though, it's like, I set up, yeah, so I set up my campaign as if you're seeing it for the first time, you know, so it's like it's just enough information for the new for the regulars to come in, see what the issue's about, and then pick up their issue. But if you're new, it's hopefully it's enough information that you understand, you know, like what the book is, you know, and you feel confident in pledging to it, because I even have the free samples, you know, that, you know, it's, you know, so because of that, it's like I feel very confident in using a template. And like I said, it just makes it a lot easier to just kind of like, okay, this goes here, this goes there. And also, I don't feel bad using the same introductory artwork as well. I don't feel bad doing that, because it's like I said, it's like if you collect the book already, you know, it's like you recognize a lot of the artwork anyway. But if you're new, you know, it's like you're kind of like, okay, you're kind of like, here's the artwork, and you know, you're seeing it for the first time, here's the cast, here's, you know, and it's like, yeah, I just try to keep putting together a Kickstarter as easy, as simple as possible. And what's really nice is that because of the jump links, the chapter links that they now offer on it, it's very easy for me to organize. Now it's like, okay, so here are the kind of like the go-to chapters, right? It's like the go-to segments, and then I just fill up each segment. You know, like the segments are always the same. You know, you have the story, the characters, the sample pages. You know, you have, oh, here's the free PDF. Here's the you know, like, here's the, you know, it's like, here's the extras, here's the add-ons, here's the exclusives, here's the reviews, here's the you know, it's like the categories don't change. So it makes it a lot easier for me to focus on, okay, which section am I working on, and then plop in the information, and that's it. Because yeah, the admin stuff, it is really, really tedious, and anything that can help me just kind of like get it done, so I can get back to drawing the book, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to feel bad about it. Uh, oh. Oh. Oh, this is definitely, I don't know. It's like I feel like by doing the flats first, it just feels like I'm accomplishing a lot more. Maybe I have to do that from now. Maybe I should do the flats first, so that when I'm finally shading, I'm almost done with the piece. Um, you know, yeah, that's looking good. You know. Oh, so HR says there is so much to know, and my situation is heavy, and other projects are interfering. I feel you. Yeah, no, it's it's yeah. It always feels like something has to get in the way, right? It's like you can't just sit down and just work. Well, technically you could, but I mean, you know the this yeah, it's like it's always tough, especially when you get like a rhythm going and it's like you get flow, you're vibing, right? And then it's like, snap, I gotta, yeah, it's like I gotta do the levels in my Kickstarter. I gotta I gotta post an update on Facebook because the campaign is ending in 2 days, or something. It's like, yeah, it's always. But I mean, that's kind of the thing of being, I guess, like an independent artist, right? Is that we don't have anybody else doing this, doing like the tedium for us, right? Um, you know, I mean, yeah, it's like I was just watching a video of this woman who self-publishes her novels, and she used to be published traditionally. But ever since self-publishing became an option, that's where she switched her attention to. I think it's like she spent 3 years, I think. I forgot what company, what publisher she was with. It's like, yeah, she spent 3 years with this publisher, got some books published by them or something. But now that she's able to work independently, she'd rather be doing that because it's like, in the end, it's like she goes, yeah, it's nice to be published it's nice to be published traditionally, but the problem is that you know you're pretty much sacrificing your effort for a legitimacy that really doesn't last very long. um and then it's like, and especially now, has no lasting, not if it doesn't have a lasting benefit, or it just like, yeah, it's like, okay, you're published by Ballantine. I think it was Ballantine that she was published by. It's like, yeah, she had a contract with Ballantine, but in the end, it's like she still really didn't really get much out of it, um and by publishing now, it's like, I guess she publishes on Amazon or something. I gotta look into that. I really gotta look into that. um I gotta seriously, like, because I'm not sure whether, like, with because, yeah, that seems to be where all the indie people are in terms of novels. They're all on Amazon, you know um and this woman was saying that it's like, as much as, like, selling your books on Amazon could be very frustrating. she'd rather do that than um she'd rather do that than go back to traditional publishing. um but the problem is that, you know that we're all, that we're all going through, is that by being independent, the big pro is that we control everything. And the big con about it is that we're responsible for everything because we control everything. And oh no, I turned my canvas pink. Hold on. How did I? I mean, I could just keep going and then because there's a way to shut this off. Hold on. I think it's the artboard, right? No. You know what? I'm just gonna keep going because I know that there's a way to shut this off. Okay, let me just. How did I do that? Look, it's not even. How did I accidentally do that? I hate that. Okay, never mind. Let me not be distracted by that. I know that I've had that happen before. Because I know that you can change the color of the background to something that I guess that'll work better for you. But yeah, we don't want it lavender. But whatever. I'll figure it out when we're over, when the show's over. So what are you working on, HR? Are you working on anything, or are you just doing like admin stuff? Oh, is it? Oh, right up here. Okay. Let me just save that. Okay, let's take a. Yeah, okay, that's good. Oh, good. That's working. It's working out. Oh, I missed the other boot. I knew I forgot something. Okay. Oh. So HR says me and my colleague is trying to get a building built. He's the pitcher for it. It's a good idea. He wants me to architect it. Oh, very nice. Very nice. So, what style are you going for? Are you going some Frank? You're doing some Frank Lloyd Wright, or what are you doing there? What kind of style are we pushing for here? Oh, but that's cool though. There's this woman that I watch. She's an architect, and it's like, yeah, she did an entire episode on her like surveying and pitching like I guess a design of the house, and it was just like so many things I didn't know. Like I guess it made sense. Like she was she was like also like accounting for like the position of the sun as it rose and set, and like where like the most sunlight would be, and like and depending on how she, so it's like she was trying to build this house, um which is funny because she kind of like she did use like Frank Lloyd Wright. The building that's over the waterfall, it's very famous. I forgot the name of that particular house. Like she was using that as inspiration, and it's like, and she was trying to like design the house for maximum sunlight. So she had to like map out the trajectory of the sun, literally. I mean, does it get up? Oh, we're going to drive up to meet and see the area. Oh, but the NARCS network is trying to stop everything we're trying to do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm sure, pretty sure depending on where you're building, the regulations must be like, oh my God. Like, I know that there's certain areas where you can only build like certain, like a minimum square footage. Like with this architect on YouTube, the area that she was in, most of like the trees were protected. So she can't, so whatever she builds there, she cannot move the trees. So not only is she mapping out the trajectory of the sun, but she's trying to find like a spot on the lot that would require the least amount of tree disturbance. So it's like, and also the thing is too, is like, because you can't touch the trees, it also makes it, because it's on like a hillside in California, so she can't, so bringing up materials is going to be an issue too, because they can't disturb the trees. So yeah, yeah, I'm, oh my God, is that what you're dealing with too? um or like different types. I mean, yeah, sometimes they have rules, they have like crazy rules for everything. you know um and sometimes the rules are for like no other reason than aesthetics. That it's like I guess depending on who's living in that area, like they put up certain rules to keep people from building like weird buildings or something, you know like yeah, so it's like, it's not even like a safety issue, it's just like, no, we don't want any experimental buildings or what we deem ugly buildings, or it has to match the rest of the neighborhood, or something. Yeah, it gets let me do a little bit of highlights here. I want to see what the hair looks like. Let's see highlights and see. Yeah, because it's like, even the building that my mom lives in, I mean, just getting the permits for the shit that they have to do on the building for safety, it's like the permits are taking forever. Like Jesus Christ, it's like, HR says the style will come when I see the area. Oh, okay. That's yeah, I guess that would make it easy. That would make it a lot easier for you to. Let's see. Oh, that's looking nice. That's looking nice. Let me put the highlights here. Yeah, but I really couldn't believe how bad the realizing the Witcher TV show is compared to the book. It is so bad. Like literally the book ruined what little interest I had in the TV show. Like it was just kind of funny realizing that. But I digress. Sometimes the book really is better. It's true. It's true. Let's see. This one I'm gonna have to, yeah, because I want to put it on very specific parts. Let's see. HR says, whatever we do, there's armies trying to stop us. If that fails, we have other projects going. Yeah, they're called homeowner associations. Yeah. Yeah, I feel ya. Oh, hold on. What's the name of the song? Okay. Oh. Yeah, usually if there's a song that comes up in the playlist that catches my attention, I go to favorite it. Oh, one screenplay almost done. Very nice, HR. Very nice. Yeah, it's always really nice to. It's nice and nerve-wracking at the same time to have something finished. Because, like I said, it's like just knowing that I'm like 3 issues away from finishing my main series is just absolutely nerve-wracking. You know, but it's also very satisfying at the same time. It's like, oh, this is finished. You know. Let's see. Okay. Oh, hold on. Let me fix this. There we go. Okay. And here. Yeah, I don't want to. Let's see. Yeah, much better. Okay. Oh, it's built. Anyway. Oh, that's the wrong one. Here. Of course, this whatever this hammer weapon is. Let's see. Okay. Go back. You know, and yeah, and the funny thing is, like, I don't know why finishing the 15 issues is so nerve-wracking when I have like 3 novels right after that I have to finish. So it's not like, you know, when things are done, things are done. It just means that it's like, oh, now I can move on to the next thing. Oh, good. It's slowly coming together. Okay. Okay, let's see now. Now I know for this, I'm gonna have to figure out a good highlight for it. Let's see. Okay, so let's go to our usual. Let's put the rest of the highlights in. Let me just change this back so I can, to normal so I can actually see it. Let's see. Oh, let's see. HR says, my colleague is an unafraid phone caller to work the system, and we cook up new ideas to narc the networks. Oh, the idea is the narc networks get alerted, and it's very dangerous. New levels, new devils from top to bottom. It's all connected. All just to build a house. All just to build a house. I mean, really. You know, it's, oh yeah, I believe it's a circus. It's like the bureaucracy is just, like I said, my mother's building, like they have to take out permits for shit they need to do. You know, it's not even like cosmetic stuff. You know, like this is like, you know, and the bureaucracy to get the permits are like, what? Well, I hope that that building, whatever it is you're going to build, goes as smoothly as it can, you know, despite the nonsense. Okay. Let's see. And I think, let me see, with her shorts, I'm gonna have to, hold on, put it back here. Oh, that's looking good. Okay. I think with her shorts, I might have to change the color that I'm using. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me try like a yellow. Oh, okay, good. That's a better contrast than. Yeah, I keep confusing the keys, the shortcuts. Okay. Now let me see. Let me just figure out this yellow. I need something a little bit more contrasty. Let's see. No, I want. Am I gonna have to do white? I really don't. No. Maybe I'm just gonna have to deal with that. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. It's beginning to come together. Oh wow! I didn't realize that we were already past the 2-hour mark. Hold on. Let me just. There. Oh, much better. But yeah, I think it's beginning to come together. This is very nice. Yeah, so at least we definitely made some headway on this piece. So so okay, so let me just put myself back together here. I'm gonna have to look up how to get rid of that pink background, the pink canvas. Hold on, let me see something. Actually, it's not a canvas. Change background color of Photoshop. Let's see. Open your image, select the foreground image. No, workspace. Oh, how to change the workspace. Menu preferences. Choose interface. Okay, so all right, menu. Okay, how to edit. And then menu. Where's menu? Menus. Under preferences, choose interface. Well, here's menu. Photo image layer type. Preferences. Hold on. Edit. Well, here's preferences. Workspace. Workspace. Oh, okay. No, that's not it. I'm gonna have to find it here. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. So okay. Menu. All right. So edit. Okay. PC. Edit. Menus. And then there's I hate it when it's like you see you follow the instructions and the instructions never, like the actual thing you're doing never start. So select. Oh, that's Microsoft. Workspace background color. There's a shortcut key. Okay, fill a control backspace. You know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna have to. No, we do not want to do. Okay, no, we do not want to do that. Control. Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up later. but in the meantime, ignore the lilac background. Hey, Michael, I see you. Have a great day too. So this is what so far we were able to accomplish. Yeah, definitely doing the flats ahead of time really helps feel like I accomplished something accomplished a lot more. So at least we're really close, because it's like not only do I have to finish the shading, but there's certain textures because that there's glitter effects that I want to put in here. So it's like, yeah, there's certain effects here, and I really want to figure out how to get that shrimp light to glow like it's neon. It's very important to the piece. So this is what I got so far. So, okay, so let me switch over here. So, I mean, yeah, even small like that on the screen, it's looking good. Like the colors, I think the colors work really well. So I'm really happy with it so far. So, wow, this was a fun episode. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's like we got to I don't know, we got to do a lot today, which is nice. So yeah, so I hope that you guys all got whatever work that you're doing as well. I hope that you guys got your work done, or at least a lot of your work done, or some of your work done, whatever you were doing, listening to my show for 2 hours, 2-ish hours. So that's it for me. So let me see. So let's go poof and poof. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for me. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today. Hopefully that it made up for the 3 weeks it seems that I didn't run a live stream, but hey, stuff happens. So that's why I call it semi-weekly, but it'll always be on a Wednesday. So thank you so much, everybody who joined me in the chat today. HR, Michael, Mike, Jimmy, Melissa, Joseph, Efrain, if everybody else who joined me today. And thank you so much for my beautiful eyeball people for watching me from regions beyond. Thank you so much for joining me as well, keeping me company while I'm working. Like I said, it's kind of like a convention without feeling like you're hogging the table. It's like to get to watch me work, and we have a conversation, we're having a good time, and you don't have to worry about having to move along because other people want to come to the table too. So it's kind of nice, So I will be back on Friday with Nita with the latest episode of the Rage Into the Vlogs show. Don't ask me for a topic because I usually make those up at the last minute. Either me or Nita make up the topic right before we go on the air. So I have no idea what we're going to be talking about, but join us anyway on Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern for another episode. So yeah, and remember that you can always catch all of my previous live streams in my playlists on my channel. So if you missed anything or you want to rewatch something, you just need something to listen to as you're working. I have 500 plus videos. I have live streams. I have an audio book that you can listen to. So I hope you guys enjoy that. So if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and anything else that I'm doing, you're going to head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook, or right there, Facebook, if you are interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress updates. And when I finally finish this piece, it will also be up on Facebook as well. Usually it's the first place that I post stuff is on Facebook. So keep an eye. So make sure you subscribe to me. You friend me on Facebook. You don't have to yeah, actually follow me on Facebook, but you don't have to send me a friend request. All my posts on Facebook are public, so you're not missing anything by not being friends on Facebook. I'm really bad at keeping track of that. I have hundreds of people who send me friend requests, but you don't really have to. Just follow the page and you'll get all my posts and all my updates on Facebook. So, because like I said, I'm really bad at keeping track of the friend requests. So don't feel bad. Nita said that she waited 2.5 years for me to accept her friend request. So don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Yeah, so yeah, and also like I said, also remember on YouTube at Daphne Lage Art. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever any of my shows go live on my channel. And it also simulcasts on the Indie Comics Network as well. So make sure you subscribe to that along with my channel, because it's nice. Just look, you just click on it. It gives us a little bump, even though YouTube says it doesn't. But you know what? It's like, just put it there anyway. And remember, you can also read Ego Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday. A good way for you to catch up with it before the next Kickstarter for Volume 2 of Ego Raven goes live in about a month and a half. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link over to Tall Tales. That's TAILSonline.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you can catch up on the latest story arc, Tears of the Mother, which is also currently uploading Monday through Friday. And you can also where is my thing? And remember that Tall Tales, it has 2 more days left on Kickstarter. It closes on Friday, so you can get hard copy versions of Tears of the Mother, issues 1 through 6. Yeah, so issues 1 through 6 of Tears of the Mother. So you have 2 days left. The link is in the show notes and in the chat as well. So yeah, so again, thank you so much for joining me today on this kind of muggy Wednesday. But yeah, it's like, you know what, considering how long it's been raining, I'll kind of take it. I'm okay with it. It's a little stuffy in the office, but that's expected. So whatever. So like I said, I'll see you guys again on Friday for the Raging to the Vlogs show. And thank you so much for keeping me company. And I never have a quippy ending for the live stream. So I guess I'll just leave you with, you know what, just have the great rest of your day, and be better today than you were yesterday, and definitely be better tomorrow than you were today. There you go. So that's all I got. Thank you again. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.
You are all weirdos.